Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my 6 Samurai Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for March 2024. I always love updating the 6 Samurai deck. It's definitely a fan favorite deck over the years with just how it has been meta relevant for some time, but still being a fun fan favorite deck, as I said. As the years have gone on, maybe not as competitive, but still has some viability in its playstyle, being able to, accommodate the many different summons that the deck has offered, including Synchro, Link, and even Fusion and XYZ, with just the power to summon out all the many different 6 Samurai monsters onto the field. I'm very happy with the updates to the deck, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the 6 Samurai monsters, we run 3 copies of legendary 6 Samurai Kizan. If you control a face-up 6 Samurai monster other than Kizan, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control 2 or more face-up other 6 Samurai monsters, this card gains 300 attack and defense, so it's just an easy special summon resource onto the field, using it with our level 1 6 Samurai Fuma to be one of the main ways we get out our Synchro legendary 6 Samurai Shien, and also just being able to use its special summon power to then use another warrior monster we have to summon out cards like Battle Shogun of the 6 Samurai onto the field as well. Our other 3 of that we run in the deck is legendary 6 Samurai Kageki. When it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand. While you control a 6 Samurai monster with a different name, this card gains 1500 attack. So while the attack point gain isn't really necessary for its playstyle, it's just meant to be another way to get another body on the field for you to use for an extra deck resource. Also, being able to special summon out cards like our secret 6 Samurai Kizaru, and then add a 6 Samurai monster with a different attribute than this card from our deck to our hand, just to search out more and more resources. For the lower numbers of our 6 Samurai monster, speaking of Kizaru, we run 2 copies of this card. When it's special summon, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 6 Samurai monster with a different attribute from every monster you control. If exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control and no others will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. So it shares this card effect with the other secret 6 Samurai monsters, an added protection effect, but you normally just use Kizaru for its search power, since we do run a good variety of different attribute 6 Samurai monsters in the deck. Most of the time, if you go for the search and setup, if you have Kageki be the one to special summon Kizaru onto the field, then you just have to search out a non-earth or wind 6 Samurai monster to do so, which can be done, but not with the next 6 Samurai, which is secret 6 Samurai Fuma. If it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 6 Samurai monster from your deck except for Fuma. If exactly 1 you control be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish it from the graveyard instead. So what's great about Fuma being a level 1 monster is you can use cards like Shien's Dojo, summoning out 1 6 Samurai monster, getting the token on this card, or the counter, the Bushido counter on this card, removing the counter, and then you can summon Fuma onto the field, getting that second resource by just being able to use your usage of Shien's Dojo on the field. And then also the 2 copies of legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho and 2 copies of legendary 6 Samurai Shinai. If you control Mizuho, you can special summon this card from your hand. That is Shinai's effect. If this card's on the field, you can target 1 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard except for Shinai and add to your hand. And with your Mizuho, if you control legendary 6 Samurai Shinai, you can special summon this card from your hand. And once per turn, you can contribute another face-up Samurai monster, then target 1 card on the field and destroy that target. You have a loop that you can create with these 2 cards, since they are just soft once per turns. So if you can summon out another copy, being able to then just loop it with the use of our other cards in the deck, which we'll go over in just a bit, you can continue the add back and loop that Mizuho and Shinai can contribute to in the deck, but also being a fire and water attribute monster, they can be searches off of Kizaru to begin with also. With our one-ofs in the deck being 1 copy of Secret 6 Samurai Hatsume, you can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard and or face up on field, target a 6 Samurai in your graveyard except for Hatsume and special summon it, and then having the same banish protection effect as Kizaru and Fuma. The 1 copy of Grandmaster, if you control 1, you can only control 1 Grandmaster, that's why we're only running the 1. If you control a 6 Samurai monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then being able to, if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Recycle power, but just another easy special summon monster onto the field, with the last of our 6 Samurai monsters being 1 copy of legendary Secret of the 6 Samurai. When you normal special summon a secret 6 Samurai monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. So being able to just summon out our other secret 6 Samurai monsters and then grab legendary Secret of the 6 Samurai as another special summon onto the field. The only non-6 Samurai monster we run is the 1 copy of Fire and Flint Lady. I do like the combo with the Infernal Knight option of Durandal in the deck as well. We don't have a sold to use for all the equipped power, but still being able to have a search out for a monster if you just control a warrior monster to summon out Fire Flint Lady onto the field can give you more warrior resource in the deck to then use to summon out Battle Shogun and the 6 Samurai, since we just need 2 warrior monsters including a 6 Samurai to do so. With the last of our main deck monsters being 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, just the hand trap of choice. A small hand trap engine in the deck with this along with impermanence, just so we can make use of a way to stop our opponent's plays while not really taking too much out of our own engine that we want to contribute to all of the summons we can do with our 6 Samurai monsters. For the spells, running 3 copies of Shien's Smoke Signal. You add 1 level 3 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty straightforward. It's not a once per turn. Being able to search out cards like Mizuho, Shinai, Fuma, you name it, Kageki, a good variety of cards, makes this a definite 3 of in the deck. Same with Shien's Dojo. Each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summon, place 1 Bushido counter on this card. You can send this card to your graveyard to special summon 1 6 Samurai or Shien effect monster from your main deck, whose level is less than or equal to the number of Bushido counters on this card. So this is the setup I spoke of before, where you can even just get 1 on the field, then be able to summon out Fuma. But the more you summon out a monster, the more counters you could potentially build up in this card to summon out. But once again, it's a 3 of, just because we do have to get rid of Shien's Dojo after we use it. And you can run multiples on the field at one time. So with all that you summon out for your 6 Samurai monsters, multiple Shien's Dojos to be able to then send to special summon monsters. I do want to run 3 copies of 6 Samurai United. Sadly, I only had the 2. If I were to run a 3rd copy, I would take out the 1 copy of Triple Tactics Talent that I run each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summon. You place a Bushido counter on this card. Max 2, and you can send it to the graveyard to draw 1 for each Bushido counter. So once again, another card that can stack if you have multiple copies, being able to draw into a good variety of cards using it. So once again, I would run 3 of this card, but I would take out the 1 Triple Tactics Talent that I'm running later on in the spell lineup for this spot. And also at 1 Gateway of the 6, each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summon, you place 2 Bushido counters on this card, and you can remove counters from it to activate these effects. 2, you can target a 6 Samurai Shien effect monster. It gains 5 attack. 4, add 1 6 Samurai from your deck to your graveyard to your hand. Or 6, target a Shien effect monster in your graveyard and special summon it. More special summon resources with this card as well, being able to be fully utilized with the Bushido counters, including with Battle Shogun of the 6 Samurai, and also the 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, the 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army for more of the Warrior Search. And if your opponent does try to hand trap you, you can at least draw into some other resources, including the chance to draw into some of our spells to then make use of setting up Bushido counters, and also the 1 copy of Living Fossil and the 1 copy of Durandal. Just more ways to special summon monsters from the graveyard, and also ways to search out Fire Flint Lady for its search when equipped onto a monster. The 1 for 1 for another way to grab Fuma if need be using our monster resources, and the 1 copy of Call by the Grave to finish up our spell lineup, with the only traps that we run in the deck being the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. As I said, just a small hand trap lineup along with the Ash Blossoms to run to utilize against our opponent if they do end up going first against us. And then for the extra deck, I run 2 copies of Legendary 6 Samurai Shien. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If this card on the field be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy another 6 Samurai monster you control instead. So protection power, while also just being a negate against a spell or trap your opponent may have, makes it difficult for them to revolve around some of their initial setup while being able to protect this card by getting rid of your other 6 Samurai monsters. Also the 1 Baron de Fleur, the 1 Trishula, the 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, and the 1 Herald of the Arclight, just for a wide variety of leveled monsters to be able to synchro summon out into the field as well. With our link monsters being 2 copies of Battle Shogun of the 6 Samurai. If it's link summoned, you can discard 1 card to add 1 card from your deck to your hand that has an effect that places Bushido counters. So you can add your Gateway of the 6 Samurai off of this card, or a wide variety of other spells as well that have 6 Samurai in its name. And each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summon to a zone this card points to, place 1 Bushido counter on this card. This card gains 100 attack for each Bushido counter on your field. So you have the added boost of this card, but being able to just remove Bushido counters from the field thanks to Gateway, you can stack up a good number of these with the Fuma, the Mizuho, and the Shinai loop that you can do, summoning these monsters relentlessly on the field, setting up that infinite loop that you can do with your Gateway of the 6 Samurai and your Battle Shogun once you summon it onto the field. Also the 1 copy of SP Little Knight, the 1 IP Masquerena, and the 1 Link Karibo and 1 Apollosa, just for more generic link monsters to be able to go into or make use of. The 1 copy of Secrets of the 6 Samurai, Rihan. For the fusion play, just need to tribute 3 6 Samurais with different attributes to get this card onto the field, having a banish option as well, targeting a field on the field after you banish the Six Samurai monster, using it also. And then the 1 copy of Abyss Dweller and the 1 copy of Zeus. This could be Shadow of the Six Samurai if you wish, as just another rank 4 Six Samurai monster option that then you can overlay into Zeus if need be. And that is it for the deck profile. As some of the plays you can go into, as I mentioned before, the setup with some of your level 4 monsters, if you have to go for the keys on normal summon, as long as you have cards like Shien's Dojo set up beforehand, you can then at least set the 1 Bushido counter to then remove this card to summon out a Fuma onto the field, and that can give you a link to play into your Battle Shogun to then search out your Gateway of the 6. This would be more useful if you had more of a resource to grab the Mizuho and Shanai, along with additional Bushido counters on the field, but the main play also can come just to you getting your Shien on the field and then relying on if you had other Six Samurai monsters in your hand, like let's say you had the initial Kageki along with the Kizan, to use the Kageki to grab another monster from your hand onto the field, then special summon out the Kizan. This would set up multiple Bushido counters on Shien's Dojo for you to use, to then use the 3 counters to then summon out the needed Six Samurai Shanai to initiate the initial loop of being able to control the special summon on the field, tributing the 1 Six Samurai monster from your graveyard to then add 1 back from your hand, which can also be done with the link play, going first, having the 1 additional monster on the field after you summon out your Battle Shogun to then go for that play. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I always love updating the Six Samurai deck. It's a fan favorite for sure, and one that definitely often gets requested to be updated as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.